Good morning, children. Today, in this class, I am going to revise all the topics which we have discussed from the past three classes about the world wars. Okay. Now let us start with some questions regarding the past classes. Who called the 20th century as the age of extremes? Who called the 20th century as the age of extremes? And what is the time period when was happened the World War I, and when was occurred the Great Depression? Okay, in this class we can remember all these important years and the important persons. Okay, now let us start. Who called the 20th century as the age of extremes? Eric Hobsbawm, the famous historian Eric Hobsbawm, called the 20th century as the age of extremes. Why he was called the 20th century as the age of extremes? Why? Because there is so many lot of inventions and so many lot of developmental process were going in the 20th century, and the dangerous developments also evolved in this 20th century, and the Great Depression, the Great Economic Depression also was occurred in this 20th century. That's why the famous historian Eric Hobsbawm called the 20th century as the age of extremes. Eric Hobsbawm. Eric Hobsbawm called the 20th century as the age of extremes. Now, when was happened the World War I? Okay, in between 1914 to 1918, the World War I was happened. 1914 to 1918. The World War II. World War II happened in the years 1939 to 1945. When the Great Depression was occurred, the Great Economic Depression, it is related to finance. The Great Depression. From 1929 to 39, it is affecting the old countries. The Great Economic Depression. Why? Because it was occurred due to it is the effect of First World War. It is the effect of First World War. Okay. Now, in the previous classes we have discussed about the damages and the deaths of World War I and II. In the World War I, it is about 10 million people were died, and among these 10 million, out of 75,000 Indian soldiers also participated in the World War I, and in the Second World War, about 42 million people were died. People of civilians were died in this World War II, and 20 million soldiers were died in the World War II, and 42 millions of civilian people were also died in this World War II. About 6 millions of Jews were also died in this World War II. Okay. The Great Economic Depression. Okay, these effects are happened in between the 1929 to 1939. Okay. Now let us see the causes of World War I. Okay, in the previous classes we have discussed about the causes of World War I. There are so many causes to broke the World War One, and there is a immediate cause also there. Now let us see the causes of World War. The first one is aggressive nationalism. Aggressive nationalism. Imperialism. Imperialism. Secret alliances. Militarism. Balkan politics. And the immediate cause. These are the 6 major causes to bring out the World War One. Okay, now let us see aggressive nationalism. Okay, in the countries of, as we have discussed in the previous class, in the countries of Germany and Italy, in the German and Italy had pride about the unification of Germany and Italy. They had a feeling they are the pride people among all the countries. That's why this nationalism, it is a positive impulse, but this nationalism becomes very aggressive in the countries of Germany and Italy. That's why it leads to the cause of World War One. Okay, aggressive nationalism showed the countries of Italy and Germany. Okay, imperialism. Okay, imperialism means due to the industrial growth in the Western countries, all the Western countries had fought against each other to redivide the colonies. Why? Because they wanted to redivide the colonies. Okay, to promote their markets and to sell their products from the industries. Okay, that's why the Germany and Italy wanted to redivide the colonies, but the old industrial growth countries did not accept this. That's why the old industrial growth countries, that are Britain, France, did not obey the Germany and Italy. Okay, this is also one reason. And about secret alliances. The German Chancellor Otto Bismarck had fixed the mutual alliance with Germany and Austria to isolate the France. Okay, in 1870, the German Chancellor defeated France, and he had unified the entire Germany. He had unified all parts of Germany into one country, and he wanted to isolate the France. He wanted to isolate the country France. That's why he had a mutual alliance with the country Italy and Austria. Okay, he had made the mutual alliance with Italy and Austria. Italy, Austria and Germany, these countries are called as, these three countries are called as triple alliances. The alliance between these three countries is triple alliance. Triple alliance. Okay. To protect from this Germany and to protect from this group, the France is arranged. The France mixed with the countries Britain and the Russia. The France had a mutual alliance with the Britain and Russia. In 1907, Britain, Russia and France made the mutual alliance among these countries. This mutual alliance is called as triple entity. These three countries' secret alliance is called as triple entity. These are very important for examination. Triple entity. Triple entity formed in which year? In 1907. The unification of Germany had possible in which year? In 1870. Who done the unification of Germany? Otto and Bismarck had done the unification of Germany. Okay, this is about the triple alliance and the triple entity. Okay, in the triple alliance there are three countries: Italy, Austria, and Germany. In the triple entity, Britain, Russia, and France. Okay. Once again, about the secret alliances between these two groups. In the 1870, after defeating the France, the Otto and Bismarck wanted to isolate the France. That's why he had made a mutual alliance with the countries Italy and Austria. Okay, that's why these three countries, the mutual alliance between these three countries, that is called as a triple alliance, that are Italy, Austria, and Germany. And in 1907, to protect from the Germany's group, the France had a mutual alliance with the countries Britain and Russia. These three countries are called as triple entity. This triple entity was formed in the 1907. In the year 1907. Okay. Now let us see the militarism. The developed countries are like the European countries. The European developed countries that are Britain, Russia, Austria, Germany, Italy, and Hungary. These are the countries were improved their or increased their military powers, and these are the countries had increased their expenditure to grow the military in their countries. Okay, it is about 132 million pounds to 397 pounds is increased. 397 millions of pounds was increased. Okay, in the years of 1880 to 1914. The expenditure of military was increased 3 times more than that of the actual expenditure in these countries like Britain, Germany, Austria, Italy, France, and Russia. Okay, among these all countries, all the countries had increased their expenditure on the military to grow the military and to develop military weapons and to develop the industries which are related to the armed forces. Okay, they had invested. It is about more than 3 times that is the actual expenditure. Okay, that is why it is also militarism. Also, this concept also is a major cause for the broke out World War I and the Balkan politics. In this Balkan Peninsula, there are so many sects of people and so many languages people were living. Okay, at the time of 20th century, this Balkan Peninsula and these people who were living at the Balkan Peninsula were ruled by the Ottoman Turkey Empire. But after fall of Ottoman Turkey Empire, all the developed European countries had fought against each other to get the supremacy over these Balkan people. Okay, But anyhow, however, Russia and Austria had got the control over Black Sea and the Mediterranean Sea for a long time. Okay, at that during the same time, Austria suppressed the Serbians in the Bosnia. Serbians in the Bosnia. Okay, this is about Balkan politics. Immediate cause. Immediate cause. What is the immediate cause? When the Austria suppresses the Serbians in Bosnia who are against Austria, they had suppresses the people who are against Austria. That's why the Serbians had want to take the revenge on Austria. That's why one Serbian had assassinated the Prince of Austria-Hungary on June 28th in 1914. Okay. On this assassination, the Austria wanted the proper explanation about this murder. But the Serbians did not give the proper explanation about this murder. That's why Austria declared war on July 28th in 1914. On July 28th in 1914. Okay. It was the World War. Okay. From this onwards, the World War was broke out. On behalf of Serbia, the Britain group jumps into the war, and on behalf of Austria, Germany and Italy are jumped into the war. Okay. Due to the internal revolution, okay, in the group of Britain, France, Russia are entered into the war on behalf of Serbia. On behalf of Austria, Germany and Italy are entered into the war. Okay. On behalf of Russia, in 1917, due to the internal revolution has occurred in the Russia was withdrawn from the World War I. In 1917, the Russia withdrawn from the World War I. Okay, after withdrawal of Russia, the US also entered into the war. The German troops in 1918, the German troops destroyed the commercial ship of US, that is Lusitania in 1918. That's why finally the US controlled the Allied group. The US controlled the central powers like Germany and Italy. Okay, due to the suppression of Germany and Italy, it leads to the victory of Britain. Okay, finally, Britain group, the triple entity group, got the victory on against Germany, Italy, and Austria. Okay, this is about the past three classes. Okay, in the next class we will discuss about what will happen after the World War and what are the results and what are the treaties that were happened after the World War I. Okay, thank you children.